Okay. All right, guys. So we are live in the Isn't It Romantic book club, but we're also beaming into a bunch of other places. We're in Romance Reads. I believe we're in Midnight in the Garden. My Dangerously Dark Darlings, Jennie's Page Turners. We're live on YouTube, so we're kind of all over. I'm Abby Rhodes. I kind of forgot to tell you that at the beginning. We're going to be talking tonight about Jennies When a Cowboy Loves a Woman by Jennie Marts. Back to I'm Abby Rhodes again. I write dangerously dark romance. Think an episode of Criminal Minds meets love story with a hint of paranormal. Here's a little pile of my books if you want to see them. They're kind of hard to all fit on the screen for some reason.
Show us the newest one, Abby. Show us the newest one.
Oh, and this is, disregard the little line across the top. This is Capturing Fate, the newest one.
Awesome.
So, all righty. Who's next? Sharon?
Yeah, I'm next. Hi, my name is Sharon Ray. I write romantic suspense. As many of you may know, Diana, Abby, Jennie, and I all write for the same publisher. Little pile of my books. Think Dan Brown, but with like really sexy romances. And this is the cover of the next book, Love's Last Kiss.
Oh my gosh, I love that cover.
I love
That's
the cover
great.
too.
It's beautiful.
And it'll be out, I believe, the first week of October. So.
Ooh.
I know.
Yay, that's so exciting. My name is Diana Miel Stewart, and I write romantic suspense for the strong of heart. I am not in a bathroom. I am actually in Virginia Beach, fully vaccinated at a fully vaccinated writers retreat. And I am sitting in the corner on this, I don't even know what this little thing is, but this was all I could set up. I have no internet, so I'm good. Hopefully I won't cut out. I'm on my hotspot. Anyway, so I don't have any books. I don't have anything to show you, but my book, Broken Promises, is scheduled to come out on June 22nd.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, super excited about it.
Cool.
And we are super excited to be able to talk to Jennie Marts today about her book. Jennie Marts is the USA Today bestselling author of award-winning books filled with love, laughter, and always a happily ever after. Readers call her books laugh out loud funny and the perfect mix of romance, humor, and steam. That's true. Fic Central claimed one of her books was the most fun I've had reading in years. She is living her own happily ever after in the mountains of Colorado with her husband, 2 dogs, and a parakeet that loves to tweet to the oldies. She's addicted to Diet Coke, adores Cheetos, and believes you can't have too many books, shoes, or friends. Her books include the contemporary Western romance Hearts of Montana series, the romantic comedy Cozy Mysteries of the Page Turner series, the hunky hockey-playing men in the Bannister family in the Bannister Brothers books, and the small-town romantic comedies in the Love Struck series of Cotton Creek romances. And we should let her in. Yay! How are you?
I'm in.
I read that really fast. Sorry.
Okay. It's a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God. How many books now?
I think I just finished my 28th one.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I want to be you when I grow up, Jennie.
I know, right?
You want to be a stressed out, middle-aged. Behind a deadline. It's good to shoot for always being behind on your deadline. To shoot for.
Hey, keep giving us good advice like that, Jennie. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. I'm here for you.
Stressed out, always behind.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a country song in the small town you created about that.
if not, there will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jennie, I just want to say I love the Creedence Cowboy series. I especially loved this book. I just thought there was something really, really special about it. I don't know. Maybe it was the addition of some new animals at the rescue farm, or maybe it was, having a young preteen girl. I don't know, but there was something really wonderful about this book that really struck me because I both laughed and cried. And I
think I liked it better than the first one, and I loved the first one.
I love the first one too, and this one really well. I'll tell you, I don't have kids by choice. But I really thought, oh my gosh, if Mandy was real, I would totally take her. You know what I mean? So she was just such a neat character.
She was a neat character. My heart broke for her going through all that teasing, and I felt so strongly, like the parent of someone who's been teased. I have 7 kids, so obviously we've been through it, and just having that experience, I was like, yeah, just get in there and, pull her hair. I mean,
well, especially at the pool, because we have a little local pool and the kids spent their whole lives growing up there, and there is a lot of bullying at the pool. Like it's real. So I thought you handled it really beautifully. And I love how you brought in another young man. I thought that was really lovely.
Oh my gosh. I need a romance novel with those two.
I know, YA. But Jenny, my first question for you is how you have written books without kids in them and sexy romances with kids in them. Is it harder to find the balance of adding that child? Because people fall in love with the child and they want to read about Mandy.
So I don't think so. I think every book has its own just like different families in it and different characters in it, and you just picture a family a different way. So I have a couple of little nieces that are like 8, 9, 10, that kind of age. So I got a lot of advice from them. I would call them and, ask them, what would this be like? What would you say to this? Do you know what this means? And so that helped me a lot. So I'm around, little kids like that. And they're super smart. Like my nieces are super smart. And so then that helps too, to like have super smart nieces. With Mandy, I will share this about Mandy too. The book is dedicated to a friend of mine. And I don't know if anyone noticed in the very beginning that the book is dedicated to my friend Mandy. And my friend Mandy was way too young and died of cancer.
Oh, wow.
A year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And so I wanted to do something special for this friend of mine. And she was this blonde, precious, wonderful woman who grew up on a farm. And I could just kind of, in some ways, imagine her being this spunky little girl too, and just everybody's friend. And she had just this great laugh.
You did it.
This book was really special to me to kind of put Mandy in there and to kind of name a character Mandy and then give her some of Mandy's personalities and some of the personalities of my super spunky, sassy little nieces who, every time I'm around them and they're doing something fun, they just do this hand on their hip thing and go, oh, take my picture. Take my picture. Take my picture. And they're always doing this. They're just the cutest thing. So anyway, that's
your love for Mandy came through. And and just hearing you say that, it strikes me because I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And I felt close to her. And that really came through on the page. Like I was saying, when she was being bullied, it just kind of broke my heart. I mean, did you do any research on bullies? Did you have any experiences that you drew from, or?
I did some, not necessarily. I don't really remember myself being bullied. But one of my kids was bullied in grade school. And so I did remember some of that. I researched it some, and I really wanted Mandy to approach it when she actually solved it, to approach it from a Mandy type way. And for Elle to see the way that she approached it with such bravery and kindness, for it to inspire Elle to be able to say, okay, this little girl is so brave. I can be brave too.
Well, you did. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love the little tiny details, like she was being bullied because she had like a little girl bathing suit versus the tankini, like the bathing suit with the little water. Because I remember going through that with my own daughter. Like at what point do you begin to
transition?
I ended up using bathing suits that were older for my daughter than she wanted to wear because I was trying to anticipate that happening.
Right. So I need to pause for 1 second because I'm having technical difficulties because I have this thing on my screen about the Page Turners group. Does anybody else see that?
You know what? I saw it too. So
Yeah.
what happens is we're
I don't know how
streaming we're streaming everywhere, but for some reason we're not streaming into Jenny's page turners. So
Oh.
you can just X out of that and just ignore it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have an X. I have an edit, remove, or view.
Push remove and then X out. Don't, because I don't know what happens if you remove it. I was like, oh, should I remove this? And I thought, well, I don't want to
Yeah.
anything. So
So
should I walk you through it?
no, I don't know exactly what happened. It's having me like do some change. Okay, there. Yep, I just X'd it out. This is the beauty of live streaming. And then we've been doing this for over a year, and I've never seen that pop up in the middle. So
Yeah.
anyway.
I know it has never popped up in the middle.
No.
I had a little bit of a, oh my.
Me too. And it was my group, so I didn't know whether. So anyway,
You're so funny. I was just covering it up, trying to go in with the show. You're like,
I couldn't see the questions underneath it. So anyway, thanks everybody. Next question, please.
I'm sorry.
I'm just going to have any in the comments. Someone, I can't, because I don't know the way StreamYard works. I'm sorry if I can't see your name. It just says Facebook user. But she says, I would love to save otters. They are my favorite animal. So my question to you is, Jenny, what else is this farm going to save? Goats, tortoises, pigs, horses, obviously cats, dogs.
Can we pick? Can we throw something?
Okay, well, I mean, now that it was Marianne Mitchell who mentioned otter, now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I want to see an otter on the farm.
Yeah, did you have a pond? Did you throw an otter?
No, there's not a lot of otters in Colorado. In the mountains of Colorado, it's not really the best environment. I don't. I'm always open to new ideas. I feel like I need to have a baby
llamas. Llamas.
Oh, a llama. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, give me more ideas because I need more fun ideas to put in there.
So
I do want to have a baby donkey at some point, like a little. So cute. Yeah, I do need to add more things. So
my husband grew up on a farm, and one of the animals that ruled the farm was literally an evil rooster named Fred, Phred. And when my husband was at West Point, he would come home and put on his combat boots and go around and kick the rooster because the rooster would like literally attack people.
Yeah.
As you walked across the yard.
Yeah.
It's just
I grew up with roosters too, and they were
they're mean.
They were not nice.
Yeah, but I can't have my hero and heroine going around kicking roosters. Come on now.
Well, I mean, I have to say what you did to that dog. Oh my God, it tore me up. I mean, that was really sad. But, you
should have seen what I originally did to her.
That's terrible.
So
that's you know what the funny thing is, the first time I went to any kind of writing workshop, the person said to the entire group, never do anything mean to dogs. Never kill a dog is what they said. You will never get the audience back if you kill a dog. And I was like, well, what if the dog's really like mean, like Cujo or something?
So I really wanted, I hope this came through, that I really wanted the symbolism of and the parallel of the, Roxy losing her puppies and, fostering these other puppies like Elle.
Oh, it did.
Her baby and, was fostering, becoming a mother. And I also have, my dad is a veterinarian, my sister's a veterinarian, my brother-in-law is a veterinarian. So I spent a lot of time on the phone with my brother-in-law going through like, how can I make this work? How can the coyotes like really take the puppies? Can it work that they drop them down in this crevice? How many days can they survive down there? How would that work? And he said they totally could survive down there for a day or two. So.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. Well, I believe that too.
And I got to say, there was something really wonderful. Like at first they couldn't find the puppies, but then they found them. And that was just Just
I always knew
wonderful
they were going to find
moment.
those puppies.
It
I was
was
like,
just
there's no way.
Wonderful. Then they found the puppies.
Were you so mad at me? when
I
those-
was. I'm like, damn that Jenny killing puppies. You
I
know?
knew they'd be found. I had no doubt
Mhm.
because I know your editor.
Exactly. Well, and I really had fun with Glory in this book and making
Oh, I
Glory
love the
a
horse.
horse that
Glory,
loved
yeah.
to sing
I
too.
love
Like
Glory.
I really had a lot of fun with that horse.
You know, I
too.
thought it interesting that Glory had this, and I don't know a lot about horses, so I'm just taking your word that a horse could have such a strong relationship with a human that the horse isn't going to budge when the human's in trouble.
Oh yeah, horses do have. Yeah, you can have a relationship with a horse similar to a dog. You know, it can
Wow.
come to you when you walk out in the barn, and it acts like it knows what you're saying, just like a dog does. So
Well, do you have horses?
I grew up with horses. I don't now. I live in a house in Colorado Springs. Todd,
So, where did you grow up with horses?
in Kansas. Yeah, so
I happen to have read your book. I know there's horses in Colorado. I mean,
not where I live.
okay.
Not in my backyard. Not yet. Yes, I grew up in a little town in Kansas called Washington, Kansas, on a farm. My dad is a farmer, veterinarian. And then when we graduated college, we moved to a little tiny town in Montana, Fort Benton. And both these towns are like 1,200 people in the towns.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I am so familiar. And, we grew up with our grandparents up the street. And so that's why I'm familiar with that small town community life and what happens and, how people show up with covered dishes. And
So is that where you gravitate towards? That's what you want to write, is this small town? I mean, you also write cozy mysteries, but they're small town too.
yeah, all my books are set in small towns. No, actually, the Bannister Brothers, the hockey books are in Denver.
Oh, okay.
But all my other books are in small towns.
Well, even your Hallmark book, your new Hallmark book is in a small town, correct?
My new Hallmark book is in a small town. I just happen to have it sitting right here.
Rescuing Harmony Ranch.
Yeah, convenient.
Oh, it's so
I
beautiful.
love the cover.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. So this book actually is in Target right now, which is like lifelong dream for me to, I mean, I
Awesome.
can't tell you how many times I've walked, stood in that aisle in Target and looked at that shelf and thought, I wish someday, I pray someday that I get
Aww. And there you are.
Target. So this Harmony Ranch is a fictitious small town, but this book is set on a living history museum, which was inspired by Rockledge Ranch, which is the living history museum that is down the street from my house. So it's literally like 5 blocks, or not 5 blocks, 5 houses away. It's at the end of my block.
Wow.
And so this book is a blacksmith and a city girl and typical feel good,
Aw. Sounds like
Hallmark.
fun. And these books came out very close together, didn't they?
They did. This one came out in February and this one came out in March. And
Oh my gosh.
And
this
in the,
one has a basset hound named Savage in it.
and in that one, were you allowed to let them kiss at the very end? Like, did you have to fight for a kiss at the end, or was Hallmark pretty good about?
So I'm allowed to kiss at the end, but not in the middle.
Right.
So I couldn't have a kiss in the middle, but I could have a kiss at the end.
I didn't know that was Hallmark's rule.
Yes, it's a Hallmark thing. So
Yeah.
I
My
have
last-
Harmony Ranch. I haven't read it yet because I was reading this one this month. So I cannot
Yeah,
wait
that
to read it.
last book that I wrote, In a Cowboy State of Mind, I didn't have them kiss until like page 100. And my editor was like, no way, you can't wait until page 100 to have them kiss. You got to have them kiss somehow sooner. And then with Hallmark, I had their first kiss on page 100 in this book. And my editor called me and was like, you can't do that. They won't make a movie of this if you have them kissing already on page 100.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Is there an almost kiss in the book? Sometimes they allow an almost.
oh, of course. Yes. There's plenty. There's plenty of almost kisses. I love almost kisses.
I do
So
too.
how do you invent new ways to interrupt almost kisses?
Oh,
Animals.
gosh. Yeah. Animals. Exactly. Animals, noises, people showing up, things falling. Is this the one where the animals are looking in the window at them?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So where they're just kind of getting ready to get down and dirty, and they look
Yes.
up, and Seamus and Otis are looking in the window at them.
Is that your favorite scene?
No, but I love that scene. You know what? Here's my reality is I think that romance and sex is fun and funny. You know, sometimes it is this like deep, amazing, passionate place, and that's great. But sometimes funny things happen, and sometimes there's, you know, laughter with it too. And I think that in romance novels, we need to portray that too. We need to portray like the funny, goofy stuff that happens that you don't expect to, and that it's not all just this perfect, you know, storybook moment. That it's like funny, goofy things too. Like maybe not always a goat and a mini horse looking in the window at you, but could be who knows what.
Yeah, it could be anything. So Jenny, I thought the scenes at the end of the book were really, like, they really rang true. I've never been in a brush fire. Never seen one. I live on the East Coast. I see them on TV, but everything around me is green and wet all the time. But I think you did a great job really describing what that was like. Is that something you're familiar with? I'm guessing you are.
Yeah. So when we lived in Montana, my husband was a volunteer fireman. And again, this is a town of 1,200 people, right? And this was early 90s, I guess. So all the firemen had a pager, right? We didn't have cell phones. We had a pager. And we lived 1 block, 2 blocks from the fire hall. So when the pager goes off, all the guys race to the fire hall because whoever gets there first gets to drive the truck.
Oh, wow.
Boys, that's just a men's mentality, right?
Really?
So, and my husband is certified in like wildlands fire certification. And so the other thing that would happen, my best friend and I, so her husband was a volunteer fireman with my husband. So as soon as the pagers would go off, we would find out where the fire is, and we'd jump in the, you know, she'd drive over, we'd jump in the car and drive around to find the fire. And then, you know, you'd stand back there and watch, just like in the book where all the people from the town would hang out back there and watch and, you know, jump in. Well, we wouldn't jump in, but yeah. And so Todd's the one that explained all that stuff to me about, you know, in the black, because once it's burned, you're safe to be in the black because that part's not going to catch fire again. And so, yeah, he actually got caught in a fire at one point and had his, when they drove through it in the truck, his goggles like burned to his, like melted.
Oh my God.
So he had these like little burn things on his face, and his face was not like bubbling like 3rd-degree burn, but
red.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I guess I do have some experience with that, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think that's great that you have that well of resources that you can turn to, the veterinarians and the firefighters. That now, do you have any hockey players that you can rely on for? You do. So
my husband played hockey. He grew up playing hockey. So I was a hockey mom. So yeah, and I think that sometimes it shines through if you don't, you know, like, I think you could certainly mention hockey and talk about hockey, but if you're writing a hockey book, like I'll tell you one of the things that just makes me crazy is if somebody has a hockey player that after practice or after the game just like goes out and does something. I mean, the whole, especially grown men, like kids stink.
They're gonna be stanky. Yeah.
Grown men, oh my God, they smell so bad. They're not going out afterwards. I'm like, you have never put a hockey playing teenager in your car after practice and written that they like went out and gave their girlfriend a hug. No, their girlfriends are like, oh God. Can I ride in the front with you, Mrs. Marks? Like that. So I do like writing experiences like that, but I also like finding people to help me. So actually, Elle's scene in the beginning with the fire and the kitchen fire, I had originally talked to a fireman, and I had it as the oven blew up. And then I talked to another firefighter, and he was like, I think you're going to get yourself into too much trouble with that big of a oven explosion. And so he was the one that talked me through, like, he said it's very, very common to have the oil catch on fire. And and that was a deleted scene. Like, I had a lot more of her, like, actually, this book, I lost the first, like, 30 pages. And so I had written about 30 pages and I lost it all and had to, like, go back and start in a whole different
You lost it. Like,
well, no, Deb made you change it, right?
Well, yeah, just changed in a different
Oh, I thought it disappeared.
Oh, that's what I thought you meant too.
Well, a lot of it. Oh, no. I know my editor made me change it.
Oh, okay.
And I just started in a different place. And I had her actually coming home from work and bringing the groceries in and starting the, food, and her mom calling her and her like getting all upset about her mom and going upstairs.
I'm going to have to agree with Deb on this one.
Yeah. So I changed it to her in the bathtub. And actually, I think she wanted me to start like on the lawn with Sassy in the beginning. So
I love Sassy. Oh my God, she's so great.
Oh, I want Sassy in my life.
Do you provide recipes to your readers when they ask?
So, okay, first I have to acknowledge Teresa's comment about that's my favorite part of Jenny's writing. It's authentic. Thank you, Teresa. That is lovely. Thank you so much. And maybe I need to add a ferret. I don't really have much experience with ferrets.
Or
so
pygmy
or pygmy goats, yes. Or a goose. I do have a goose in my next Hallmark book coming out. So there is a goose in that. But so on all of my books, I have a Pinterest board for every book. And if I have researched a recipe or have a recipe in it, so my Pinterest board for When a Cowboy Loves a Woman has a recipe for Kahlua cake on it. And 3 recipes for Kahlua cake, and I love that cake. Kahlua is my favorite.
That sounds amazing.
Jenny, tell me, is the brother they rescued, is he going to be the hero of the next book?
Cade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Cousin. Yeah.
Cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is. And if you thought
He's
he
so
was
adorable.
And the heroine's going to be the mother of the young boy, right?
No.
Oh, no. For that. What?
Nope. The mother of the young boy.
Can you change that, Jenny?
You haven't changed that. You haven't written it yet.
Okay.
Yes. So Cade's book is already written. It's called How to Cowboy. It comes out in December. And Cade's book opens with him getting a phone call and his ex-wife and his estranged 13-year-old daughter are in a car accident, and his wife dies.
Oh my God.
Dies. And he goes to the hospital to get this estranged daughter that he barely has a relationship with and brings her back to the horse rescue. And the hero or the heroine is Nora Fisher, and she is a physical therapist who comes out and she moves into the bunkhouse. So he restores the bunkhouse, and there's 2 sides of it, and she lives in the other side of the bunkhouse and does horse therapy to help rehabilitate the daughter. And I really love it.
That sounds intense. That sounds, and you do
That's not the book
such
you're
a
working
good.
on now. Okay.
The book I'm working on right now is the one after that, and that one stars Jillian and a hero that you're going to meet in How to Cowboy.
And Jillian's Milo's mom, right?
Milo's mom, yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, as long as she gets her HEA, we're
I
fine.
know.
Yeah.
She will, and I had to figure out like how Cade doesn't come in till the very end of the book. I had to figure out how to hero bait Cade and make people want Cade, and you really meet him for this tiny moment.
Oh, it was so good. That was so good. I mean, any man that's just because she's been through so much, and he's just like, I'm just gonna let her sleep here, and it just shows his character is perfectly done.
Well, and I really had fun like making her shirt on backwards and inside
and
out.
And then he noticed. That's
Yeah.
another thing. You showed so much of his character. This guy pays attention to detail.
Well, and then I was thinking, well, if that damn Brody's going to act like that, then maybe she'll end up with Cade.
Yeah, why not Cade?
Move on. I was ready to move on with Cade.
Right.
No, I was Brody all the way. I was Team Brody.
Oh, good.
I was iffy.
We're iffy.
I was iffy. Well, because you did such a great job with Cade in the car while she was sleeping on his lap. I thought it was fabulous.
Yeah, but Brody also had Mandy. So, and I'll tell you what, my favorite scene was the scene where they were all snuggled in bed. And
I love that.
Was there, and the injured dog was there, and Brody was there, and Elle was there, and I love that scene. I felt that like in my soul.
The other one I loved was when they were in her nursery. Remember, she was in the nursery with Mandy, and he comes in and they do the group hug, and they all talk about how they're not going to say sorry anymore.
Oh yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, that one really got to me.
I really like the pancake party. I thought that was just such a fun.
Oh, I do too. I want to do that.
Just a fun scene.
So I need to have a reader like make some kind of pancake playlist because I'm not very good at playlists. So I need to put out a call for like what songs would be on the pancake playlist because I don't really have a playlist in mind.
But do you ever listen to a certain song when you wake up in the morning? Like sometimes I'll turn on Tonight's Gonna Be a Good Night.
Oh, I like that. Todd does have a happy place kind of playlist that he plays in the morning. He's really good about. He gets up before me and he turns on music, and he has like happy playlists. So I don't know. I'll have to work on that. But I did have fun putting that part where Mandy was making the trying to learn how to make mashed potatoes and gravy.
That was adorable. Is that your favorite part? Is that your favorite scene?
I don't know. You keep asking me what's my favorite scene. I don't know.
I know. I'm trying to get it out of you. You keep avoiding the question.
Jenny, were there any scenes that you loved that you had to cut?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I can tell you that little Roxy dog looks so much like my rescued dog, Bailey. So again, on my Pinterest board, I have pictures of what all those dogs look like and what I imagine Roxy looking like. And my dog, Bailey, was just such a unattractive little funny looking terrier Chihuahua mutt. But she was the sweetest, best dog ever. So, so there are pictures of what I imagine those dogs look like.
You put a lot of heart into this, a lot of love with your friend and your dog, and yeah. And I love Roxy because that's my grandmother's name.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah,
I feel like I put a lot of heart. I feel like we all put a lot of heart into all of our books. But there was a lot of emotion in this one, and
there was a wide range of emotions in this book. I thought you really went from really, really funny to very touching to scary.
Right. Was it the hardest one to write out of the 3 that you've written for this series?
No, probably How to Cowboy. The new one coming up was probably the harder one.
Oh, really?
Because the mom died, and
yeah.
But this one had some, tough.
Yeah, I can see it following up Cowboy State of Mind and winning a Colorado Book Award. So congratulations on that, by the way.
Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, it's a finalist. It hasn't won yet, but keep your fingers crossed. We find out in June.
Okay. Well, I say it's going to win. I've already.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
Well,
Teresa says one of her favorite scenes was the determination of Mandy to make the potatoes, and I agree. I think her arm was her arm in a cast, or wasn't her arm?
Oh yeah,
She
yeah.
broke her arm was in the past, too fast, and she was trying to put the potatoes to make dinner.
Yeah.
I love that.
There's Louise. Hi, Louise.
Oh,
So
hi,
is
Louise.
there another book in the Harlequin series that you brought up, or
The Hallmark.
Hallmark? Why do we always do that?
The next Hallmark book comes out next year, and it is called Cowboy Ever After, and it's actually a cowboy, Hallmark cowboy story, and it is a romance writer, a timid romance writer, whose editor tells her she doesn't have enough like authentic experiences.
Oh, I
in
love it already.
books.
Love it already.
Like reviewers are kind of getting her, coming after her for saying that she doesn't know. You could tell she doesn't know enough about horses. So the editor sends her to this ranch in Montana, her brother's ranch in Montana. And when Kaylee gets there, the rancher that walks out is like the real life replica of the person in her book, the hero in her book. So, and her editor tasks her to channel her feisty heroine every time she feels shy or afraid with this hero. So it's really cute.
Oh, I can't wait for that one. That sounds fantastic.
When does that one come out, Jenny?
What?
When does that one come out?
I think February of next year. The same kind of like Valentine's Day rollout, kind of like this one, I think.
And How to Cowboy comes out in December?
It looks so dark over here.
Clearly, like December 28th, the very end. So put it on your Christmas list. But I think it's available for pre-order right now. So if you wanted to just pre-order right now, it would show up.
And so this book's going to take How to Cowboy is going to take place at the same ranch, the same rescue ranch?
Like
or around
3 weeks later or a month later or something.
Okay.
Like just barely later.
And are we going to see much of the characters from the first two books? Or that's so hard to balance that. How do you do that?
It's hard when you keep getting more and more and more people.
I know.
And more animals.
Yeah.
Yes. Got to get all the animals in there. We got to know what happened to Roxy and her puppies and Milo.
The animals are a little bit easier because, now that Elle and Brody are together, they can take some of those animals with them, right? To their farm. So, and some of the animals can like go to these lovely, good homes. Whereas it's much harder to just keep bringing the people in. And so, the How to Cowboy, Elle and Bryn are there. Jillian is there. Like all of them are there. And so it is, I guess it's a little bit of a struggle to make sure that you include all the people. And even in the new book that I'm working on right now, it starts with a massive horse rescue operation where they go in to, rescue, on TV, you'll see like somebody will have all these horses like packed into a barn that are being neglected or not cared of or whatever.
Like animal hoarding kind of thing?
Yeah. And so they all it's all of them show up to rescue, because one person can't take 20 horses.
How do you keep all this straight? Like, how do you keep 28 books of plots and 28 books of settings and 28 books of characters and family members and animals? How do you have like a huge system, a huge filing cabinet or something?
So in some ways, I do talk about this. In some ways, it's just like watching your favorite series. You can watch like 5 different series of 5 different shows, and you remember who's on, the Blacklist and who's on, Jane the Virgin and who's on, who all those characters are. As soon as you open up the show, you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly who all these people are. So it's kind of like that, but I will share my, I do have a system with these little folders. So here's a horse rescue. So this one is like Zane and Bryn, and I have these little folders that you can like write on, and then they open up and I put notes inside there, but like on the front of this, it lists all the characters, their last names, because oh my gosh, last names. How do we come up with 1.5 million last names?
Yeah.
And here's all the animals on this side. So this lists, horses, Beauty, Prince, Seamus, Tiny the pig, Otis the dog, Lucky, Hope, Grace plus 5 puppies, Spartacus, Caesar, the new mini horse.
Spartacus, that was great too. Yeah, love Spartacus.
Oh yeah, wasn't Caesar in this one? Did Caesar show up in this one?
Caesar.
I don't think so. Who's
No,
Caesar?
I don't think so.
I was supposed to put another mini horse in there, apparently.
You're slacking, Jenny.
Or when the Cowboy
You're
Loves.
totally slacking with the mini horses.
Okay, maybe he'll show up in the next one. But yeah, like just coming up with those stupid girls' names of the little bully girls. And, you know, I have Molly, used to be friend, short-haired girl. Her name was...
Yeah.
And then I keep track of all my chapters right here so that I know that my chapters are like...
Are you ever tempted to make someone like the bully, the bad guy, the name of someone you personally have an issue with, or?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do we
I'm
not
always
do
afraid the
that?
person will read it and be like, "Oh, I know that's me."
Yeah.
I kind of hope they do.
Or like my friends, you know, like an ex of one of my friends or something. Yeah, sure. Or names that you just, you know, think about that guy in high school, like, I don't know, Chad.
Right. Yeah. Now you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
I actually changed the name of the bad guy in Broken Promises because it was one of my daughter's ex-boyfriends who I just had an issue with. And I was like, no, I think this is too. I'm just gonna change his name.
Yeah.
She's good.
And source books had that rule, or might probably still has it, where the heroes' names are 1 syllable, right? And the villain names are 2 to 3 syllables.
Who
What?
is this rule?
What?
Deb told me that.
What?
She made me change all the names in all my books because the heroes have 1 syllable names.
Are you kidding me?
I'm totally serious.
She's playing you, Sharon.
Right? The same publisher. I'm telling you guys, this is true. Ask Deb, Jenny. I dare you ask Deb.
Oh
Jenny,
my
did you
God.
hear that?
No.
No.
I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard
But
that.
maybe I do that.
I think you
No.
do that anyway. I think,
Brody is 2.
yeah, but it's got a hard
Jane is
consonant.
1, and Cade is 1, and Colt,
Zane.
and Mason, and Rockford.
Yeah.
Those were all.
That's crazy. I just never heard that. I'm like, I've got Xander, Lathan, Thomas, and Kane. But wow, I just never heard that
Yeah.
before.
In my first book, it was Sandesh. I mean, it was like something you never heard of. And
Well, and I think if I had a character that had a 3-syllable name, I would find a way to give him a nickname.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that was my
do you
experience.
do nicknames in your books?
Oh yeah, I do all the time.
I love
Well,
nicknames.
Sassy is Aunt
Yes,
Sassy.
Sassy, right.
You know, her name's Cassandra. So
Yeah, that's true.
Is
That's
she
true.
going to be in the next book too?
oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep. And she's got another quiz, and she's got a couple more quizzes, and in the next book, and
Who's she based on?
you know, probably a combination of my grandma's.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you love your
That's
grandma.
really sweet.
I love my
Jenny, when you-
grandma's.
When you finish a book, are you sad? Like, do you grieve the loss of that, or are you just so relieved to have it done?
Pretty much every book, when I like send it in, I just sit at my desk and weep. Like I just cry.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm a
From relief or from
yeah, right.
from
Stress
from
or
relief of,
relief?
like turning it in and finishing it, and it's
Mhm.
done, and oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I can't believe I did it again, and I can't believe I
Mhm.
wrote another book, and thank God it's pretty good, sort of good.
I
Yeah,
I think
you-
I'm going to have that experience when I finally see this one, published, because it's been hell.
yeah, and it's like I turn it in, and I just my body just is like, okay, I'm done.
And what do you give yourself, like an hour and a half before you start the next one?
Yeah. So have you ever, and this is actually to all you guys, have you ever gone back and either read or listened to
Hi,
your book?
Louise. Sorry.
Oh, hey, Louise. And you don't remember, like I have had this where I'm reading a scene, so I'm trying to, and I'm like, I don't remember writing this. Like
I have had that happen too. I've had and thought, did Deb change that and didn't tell me? Like, did they slip that in on me? Like, because I'm the same way, Sharon, same way.
And I don't know why. Maybe we block it out.
It was so traumatic getting it out. Like,
Yeah.
So what's the hardest book you've ever written, Jenny?
I always feel like it's the one I'm writing.
Oh.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's like giving birth. You just kind of forget it afterwards. It's just like, yeah.
That's not necessarily true because Hooked on Love, the book with the fly fisherman, was the easiest book I ever wrote. It came out, I wrote it in 1 month, and it just poured out of me, and I had so much fun writing that book.
So what was the impetus? How did it pour? I mean, did you just have an idea, woke up one day and like, this is happening?
Were you drinking?
No. Yeah. A lot of Diet Coke. You know what? I plotted it out so much ahead of time, and I had so much fun with this fly fisherman and the city girl and the story and all the funny things that happen to them. It's a romantic comedy, and the meet cute for that one is they meet. She's the city girl that shows up in his little small town where he's like this brooding, divorced, his wife just took him for everything in the divorce, and he runs this little fly shop and just wants to be left alone with his golden retriever Sadie. And he goes into like the mercantile, and the heroine is in there, and she's been sent from Chicago or New York or something, I think Chicago, to try to get a story about him, and she doesn't have any of the stuff that she needs, and so she tries to buy a bathing suit, and then she tries to buy waders, and she's wearing a bikini and these waders, and this is small town, old mercantile that's been around forever, and a snake falls from the rafters into her waders.
Oh, good God.
And so she pops out of the dressing room into Sully's arms and is screaming at him to take her pants off.
Oh, great.
Because there's a snake in her waders.
That's hysterical.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that is so
really
funny.
like.
I think I would be traumatized.
Yeah, it's a little snake. It's not like a rattlesnake. Just a little.
No, Jenny, that's funny as heck. You know what? You are really funny, and your books are really funny. Do you work at that, or does it just come out naturally?
Both. I don't know.
I think that's Jenny's personality.
I agree. I think
I just feel like that's Jenny. Jenny's just kind of funny.
That's what I think. I imagine her
zing.
just like being like, do. There's a funny scene, but you say you work at it sometimes.
Well, I don't know. I think it kind of just comes out, but I work at perfecting it sometimes, I guess. Or I don't know. Do you work at it? I don't know.
No, I think that sometimes I do work at perfecting it. I understand what you say. Something comes out naturally, and you're like, there's something off about it, and I could just tweak it and make it a little more funny. Yeah, I totally get that.
Well, like those interviews with Sassy, those take me where she does those rapid fire questions to see if somebody is worthy. Those take me like half an hour to write, and I try to think of like the funniest, or different things that, she might throw in something funny or, but I also think that, I try to think about how those people would look at the world, like in, You Had Me at Cowboy, when you first meet Sassy and they're at Rox and Quinn's wedding, and she thinks that the ice sculpture that's like 2 hockey sticks is a penis sculpture. And she thinks that it's like a hockey stick, and she thinks it's penis sculpture. And I think some of that just comes from my warped brain.
That's hysterical. I know, but that's that's fine. It's all good. You didn't say dick, So
No, Diana did.
I know I'm so dark tonight. I'm like trying to reach you all from my Virginia
look,
Beach.
You were
There's
so
God.
light, and then you
I
got
know, and
so
it just got
dark.
darker and darker and darker, and I just get well.
Hi, Yvonne. Thank you so much. What a lovely, lovely compliment.
Aw, that is so
I
sweet.
can see your comment. I know. I'm not seeing a lot of reader questions. You guys should ask me more questions in our last 5 minutes that we have left.
Yeah. Ask questions, people.
Well, I have a question for you.
Okay.
If you had to pick one of your male characters to have a relationship with, which one would it be?
Oh, come on. I don't know.
Soul searching. You asked for soul searching.
No, I asked not to have soul searching. Don't you think that we sort of like fall in love with all of our characters?
You can only pick one. Come on, Jenny.
I think we fall in love with all of those heroes. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at Rock, and so I don't know, like, I remember getting this cover, like my first Caught Up in Cowboy cover, and seeing that face, and I just was like, oh. And that's my my first hockey playing cowboy, and I don't know, he's pretty special.
So, Jenny, which heroine are you the most like, would you say?
We pick now. I'm kidding.
I think probably Sunny in the Page Turners. So that's my first book that I ever wrote.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my first book I ever wrote was like in 8th grade, but I mean, my first published book in the Page Turners. And Sunny is this, you know, she's got this golden retriever. And I think her personality is probably, don't you think in that first book, that's when we inject so much of ourselves into
so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
So.
I would definitely agree
and then we start backpedaling and going, oh, wait a minute.
We're not supposed to do that.
So before we know any better.
Well, you know what? I think that you have a little bit of you in all of the characters. I can see you in there, especially in your sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And I think what shines the most about your books is they seem so true and so real because of that. It's funny because I was watching this Neil Gaiman like masterclass. My kids got me this masterclass like year subscription. I was watching the Neil Gaiman one. And one of the things he said that writers need to do is tell the truth. And I think that's what you do. You tell the truth. It's believable. That little town is believable to me. And I want to live there because that's not the world I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to live there.
Yeah.
I'd fail miserably. I'd get burned up somewhere.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to be a cowboy. I'd be fine.
Yeah. And, you know, Jenny, you created not just like this little story about Brody and Elle, but you create like this whole town and like this a universe, you know, that I mean, I like dark stuff and I usually don't like light stuff, but like your stuff is like, I want to go move there, you know? I mean, that just sounds like such a wonderful place, you know, to be with just great, interesting people and fun things happening. And
yeah, for sure.
And you really just, it's like you give respite in the middle of life while we're reading these books.
Is that your favorite town?
Thank you. Is Credence my favorite town?
Mm-hmm. That you've created?
I do love Credence, but I also like Cotton Creek. You know, I have these romantic comedies set in Cotton Creek, and I love the Montana books, the Hearts of Montana books. I love that little town that reminds me of Fort Benton. I don't know. I'm not very good at picking a favorite. Which is your favorite child, Diana?
I love them all.
I love the festival. What was it? Was it like a hay festival, or what was the name of the festival?
Oh, the Heyday. The Heyday Festival.
Is that like real?
No, made it up. Although I think so my husband runs a portion of the county fair, and I think I did see that Kiss My Ass thing at
I love that.
I love that.
That was great.
Yeah.
Well, I absolutely loved how Mandy dressed up. I thought that was the cutest thing.
Oh yeah.
And at the fair they do have like a dress your llama contest. And so I took that Dress Your Llama contest and tried to change that into, and I tried to think like, what could she dress Seamus as? And there's a picture of that. I got that idea on Pinterest too. You can see a picture of a little girl dressed like that with a mini horse dressed like the lion.
That's so cool.
You know what? I think we forgot to mention that we're doing a giveaway tonight. A little late, but we'll leave this up till I don't know when we'll leave this up. Usually we do Sunday, but now it's Monday, so we'll leave this up for a couple of days. And we did put a participation question. It's if you had to run an animal rescue, which animal would you choose? So answer that, or ask Jenny a question, or just comment, and you will be entered to win. How much of a gift card are we doing? I think it was $10 gift card, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. That sounds good.
So organized.
I know.
Well, it's Monday.
I'm fading. Soon you won't even be able to see me.
Well, I think we're a little. I think because it's Monday night, we're all a little just discombobulated.
Yeah, definitely. But we got it in there. And we need to talk about our questions, our guess the author, and
yes.
Yeah, so we have 5 minutes left, so we need to talk about our new book that's coming. So typically, I think this is where we kick the author of the month out, but I'm introducing the next book, so I don't think you better kick me out.
No, we can't.
So and I just realized I never went and got the prop. So
yeah, I have a prop.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a prop too.
So,
yeah. Okay. Well, mine is so lame. I had to, whatever. Next time we'll do better. Next time, people.
Yeah. So we can hold up our prop to give you an idea about what's going to be in the next book. An idea. There you go.
Illness.
And then our questions have nothing to do with that. But Sharon's going to tell you our questions where you guys get to guess and do our poll. So okay. Sharon, what are your questions?
So although we just read a book about a horse rescue farm, we're going to be, it's different, but there are rescue animals. So we decided tonight to ask you, I'm going to list the type of horse rescue farm the four of us each would like to start, but you have to pick who's starting it. So I'll put the poll up. I'll put up either tonight or tomorrow morning. So who of the four of us would want to start a donkey rescue farm? Who of the four of us would want to start a turtles or tortoise rescue farm? Who would want to start a rescue farm, I think aviary for hawks or bald eagles? And who would want to start a rescue farm for pygmy goats, smaller miniature goats? So there you go. One of us. You choose.
Somebody said they would like to have a feral dog rescue. I don't know if that's trying to be funny, but it seems funny.
Like a Cujo farm.
It would be, yeah, it would be lively.
It's rehabilitating them.
Yeah.
Rehabilitating them. So they're not feral anymore.
They're not.
See, that's good.
That's a lot of work.
That's a person with a lot of love to give.
So without further ado, our book for next month is actually written by one of my writer besties. She hails from right here in Colorado Springs as well. Her newest book with HQN, and it is Michelle Majors, The Last.
Yay, so excited! Oh my God, yay! I can't wait.
This book is set in Magnolia, North Carolina, and it is about Meredith Ventnor, and she knows a wounded creature when she sees one, though her temporary new neighbor may be, on the surface at least, a successful, drop-dead, gorgeous doctor, where our Band-Aid first aid came in to play. She recognizes the deep hurt that Ryan Sorensen is carrying, and it is catnip to her soul. And even though Meredith is the youngest, scrappiest, and singlest of Magnolia's most famous sisters, she's committed to expanding the animal shelter on her newly inherited farm. And she can't waste energy on a man who's only passing through town. So this is the third one in the Magnolia series, and Rayanne Thane says the Magnolia Sisters is sheer delight, filled with humor, warmth, and heart. I loved everything about it. So you guys are
perfect for spring. This
Great.
is our spring animal rescue series.
and this book is set in spring, so yeah, it's going to be perfect.
Perfect.
So we'll
Yay.
drop. We'll get you guys the links and figure all that out.
Yep.
Yep.
Comment in any of the groups that we're appearing in, and you are entered to win. So, and also, I think we're giving away a copy of that book too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give away a copy of this book too.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Jenny, it was so much fun talking to you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys
I love
so
it
much
so
to read
much.
my book. That meant a lot to read my book, so I loved it.
It was wonderful.
It was very
Yeah, it
good.
really was. It was so much fun. All right. Well, good night, guys. I will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.